So, Tom, there were several news stories that popped up this week about new initiatives that all had a common theme. The first was news that Keysight will be partnering with F5 and AMD to show off how 5G can scale to terabit scale during MWC Las Vegas. And I said terabit, not terabyte. The second is that Intel demonstrated a 5G testbed during Innovation Show back in September. The third is around cyber ratings, a discussion about a new round of firewall testing for both enterprise and data center. The comment time here, Keysight is providing the software that will power all this testing. CyPerf is the chosen test suite in all of the use cases. So Tom, why is CyPerf being put to work in all these scenarios?
I think the honest answer is because CyPerf works. I mean, this is one of the things that you see a lot. I remember this, and by now it could honestly be an apocryphal story about when Tesla was doing some of the IIHS safety testing. And you basically, the IIHS is the U.S. organization that allows you to basically say, well, you know, our car is rated for this kind of head-on collision or this or that. And one of the things that Tesla founder Elon Musk was touting was the fact that their ratings were off the scale for safety. IIHS testbed, basically their Tesla Model S, it exceeded the capability of the testbed. So how does that come back to what we're talking about here with CyPerf? Well, if your test bed is not capable of certifying or providing the results, can you even really say that your 5G is capable of pushing terabit? Can you even say that your enterprise firewalls are capable of providing this kind of throughput or performance? So in a way, your test bed has to be built in order to provide the kinds of things that you want to be able to test for. The old adage is, you know, Ginger Rogers did everything Fred Astaire did, only backwards in high heels. With CyPerf from Keysight, they have to anticipate the kinds of loads that you're going to see from these tests and be able to exceed them to prove that they didn't just like top out at the very top of what the test bed is capable of providing. You know, it's like when you say your car is going really fast. Well, how fast did it go? Well, I don't know how fast it went, but the speedometer thing went all the way to the side. So I lost track of it after, you know, 160 kilometers an hour. Well, does that mean that the car went 300 kilometers an hour? Well, we don't know because the testing, the notification system basically broke. And so I think that that's what a lot of companies are saying. When they all pick the same platform, that kind of tells me that people build a good platform. When, you know, when everybody kind of accidentally ends up buying the same phone, the same laptop, those kinds of things, everyone's like, oh, wow, they must make good stuff if everybody chooses them. And I think that this is kind of a thing that Keysight can hang their hat on is, you know, we might not be building the technology that pushes terabit technology, you know, terabit things. We may not be the one who's testing some of the cool Intel stuff or making the Intel stuff, but we're the company that they all turn to test it to make sure that it actually works right. And when you look at what Keysight and IXI and all of their other stuff they're doing with it, they're building test beds to provide that kind of assurance for companies. And if you don't think that that's a big issue, hopefully nobody tried to do any Amazon Prime shopping this year, because you know that during Prime Day, it tends to go into the crater, and you know how big it is on Black Friday. You want to be able to test your systems to make sure they're not going to go down under that kind of load. And that's where a company like Keysight can come into play. So I'm excited to hear a little bit more about how CyPerf performs on this, and hopefully Keysight will be able to provide a little bit more information into kind of the way they build these testing platforms.